The Bible is now the greatest instrument in creating false industries in the continent of Africa. And that is not to be celebrated. It is to be frowned upon. And we who claim to be Christians, and I normally use this very deliberately, we claim to be Christians. As to whether we are is another debate. We'll only discover that a little later when we are in heaven. And therefore, when we talk about rediscovering, we are saying that it was once discovered. But let us situate the Bible in its proper place. Christianity as we know it today in the continent of Africa was midwifed to us in the continent through Europe, through the missionaries. When they came, they were reading the very same Bible that we are reading today. When they sat in Berlin and were dividing the continent of Africa, they were reading the same Bible that we are reading today. The same Bible in which, in Paul's letter to the Galatians at chapter 3:28, he says, there are no Jews, no Gentiles, no slave, no free, no woman, no man. They read that verse. It was not interpolated later after they came. They read it. But they came here and conquered us. They came here and discriminated against us. The same Bible. They were being mentored by that very same Bible. Many of us who make the claim that we are Christians are not good Bible readers, despite your best efforts and best intentions. I normally ask this. I'm sure many of you remember that. That is not true. You never rejected the devil with all his works. Those were words that you just spoke on the spur of the moment. I remember one day when my little daughter was getting baptized. So we went for preparation for baptism at my church at the All Saints Cathedral. And the provost of the cathedral asked me, do you believe in child baptism? I said, I do not believe in child baptism. And he said, why are you bringing your child? I said, because I don't want you to give her trouble asking why were you not baptized. And we entered into a debate, and he asked me, why don't you believe in child baptism? I said, it has no biblical basis. Because if it had biblical basis, Christ would have been baptized as a child. That debate still lingers, and I'm quite certain some of you may not agree with me, but it has no biblical basis. As many as believed were baptized. Children cannot believe. They have no power of discerning. I'm still talking about rediscovering mentorship in the Bible. In this congregation, if I were to pick any one of you to recite for me the 10 commandments in the order in which they were given to Moses, I can assure you, and I'll not try it, I don't want to embarrass anybody. Out of 10, possibly only 2 would recite them in the order in which they were given. Because to you and me, 10 commandments have become 10 suggestions. 10 suggestions to be obeyed only when it is convenient. And yet, if we were to use the 10 Commandments alone as the basis of governing our lives, we would need no other laws in the world. We would need no other laws in the world. But we do not look to the Bible. The Bible does not guide our lives. The Bible is a convenient thing that we make reference to when we want to cover our sins. It has become a moral fig leaf that we use to hide our nakedness. And I want to tell you that until and unless we change our ways, and it's a constant struggle for all of us, I now understand why Christ said how difficult it shall be to get into the kingdom of heaven. I do not know whether it's in Revelation where there is an attempt to say the number of people will get into heaven, and heaven is described. I used to think it was very small. I now know not many people may get there. Not many people may get, despite our pretension to the contrary. It is in Matthew 24:24 where it is recorded that there shall arise many Christs and many prophets who shall work wonders. And I've always talked about two approaches to be found in the Bible. One is of John the Baptist and Herodias. It's a dangerous path where you go out into the public and condemn evil. The only thing that you must know is that when you follow that path, Salome will ask for your head. On Saturday, if we are from the SDA, we go to church because that is where you meet your friends. And a 1 hour sermon is too long. You lose your pastor after 10 minutes and you are busy playing video games in the pews. Is that the kind of Christian you are? Sunday going Christian who thinks he's God's gift to the world? Is that the kind of Christian you are? A Christian whose business is to judge others, thinking that you are holier than everybody else? Is that the kind of Christian you are? Because if that is the kind of Christian you are, then you cannot mentor anybody.